I'm just gonna like start off with greeting, you know. My name is Lesajo. I am an astrologer and a tarot reader and esoteric student. And today I'm gonna like mix astrology and tarot together, but I'm gonna provide a bit of a backstory. So basically, what I feel like it's something I've been reflecting on. I mean, everybody reflects on it every now and again. I'd like to think, but um, there is this false perception that we go into astrology or we go into tarot because we want to control a situation, and I can completely understand that. As the people who get into these types of practices, it seems like they are the most out of touch with reality, but at the same time they seem like they're the most out of touch with reality, and they're trying to control it by predicting every outcome. But I don't know, I feel like the more I do this, the more I have a lack of control. And it's funny because the planet that I'm going to be referring to today is Saturn, which is about fear and control. And basically, what happened, backstory time, is I was dealing with a situation like within my own personal life, and you try to plan ahead, you try to plan for everything. That's what you do, like, as maybe other people don't do this, but this is just me. You have to think in advance, and to me that's very Uranian energy. But there is a reason to plan ahead. Like, you don't just plan ahead just by thinking. To me, you plan ahead by putting certain structures in place. And um, during the event or day in question, everything that I had put in place, every plan that I had, kind of just fell apart, you know, and also interactions with people were just like, what? I was just like, what is going on? Um, for reference, this was all happening a couple of weeks ago, but obviously I had to sit with it, meditate on it, and just kind of unpack what it really was about. And in that moment, it kind of was clear, where it's like, you can try and plan for every situation, you can try and plan for every outcome, but at the end of the time, at the end of the day, you do need to accept that you don't have control over everything, and you just need to accept and find ways to deal with your lack of control. So I kind of like asked myself, I'm like, how do I deal with the unknown? How do I deal with situations that make me feel uncertain, that make me feel fearful of the unknown? And then as I was like sitting, I was actually like laughing at the end of the day, because I had been like working on charts earlier that day, and like Saturn in Pisces was really like coming up. And then I was also the card that I pulled that day, for your reference, right? This is a card from my first tarot deck, the Zodiac Tarot. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I'm on the ball on this, but the system that is used, the astrological tongue twisters, the astrological association that is used within this tarot deck specifically is as per the Golden Dawn. So basically, the Eight of Cups, right? It's the astrological association is Saturn in Pisces, right? And currently Saturn is in Pisces in transit. And yes, Saturn is going to go into Aries, but it's going to retrograde into Pisces throughout 2025. And why I thought it was very interesting is because this card came up. I was dealing with situations that were out of my control, and I was like asking myself, I'm like, how am I actually dealing with this? How am I actually navigating these situations? Because what I basically wanted to say is that one thing you learn, and one thing you have to grow to accept, or maybe find something else. I know that's harsh, but it's just the truth. Is that you come more from a place of understanding situations than from a place of trying to manage and control situations, you know, because if you're going to be going through a chaotic cycle, you could like travel the world and try to avoid your cycles. The planets are going to keep being in transit. You're still going to go through those cycles. And so it's more about understanding the current cycle of life that you're in, how to best navigate that. And I think for me, that is where the responsibility and the role of the astrologer comes to play, right? Because you don't go to see an astrologer or a tarot reader because they are trying to teach you to control the planets. We don't control the planets. We can try. I mean, I don't know how many times I have got something down. I'm like, guys, I'm ready. I'm ready. And then the planets are like, whoa, wait. Like, are you? Did you actually know what you're dealing with? And I think for me, those are actually my favorite moments because it reminds me that I am still human and I don't know everything, which is fine, which is okay. And I've just come to accept that. And astrologers, tarot readers, spiritualists in general, their role is to help you navigate these cycles and the cycles within your life. And they might not it's not really their job to make you feel like you're in control, you're in the seat of the chariot. Sometimes we're not, but they counsel you through it, they guide you through it, and it's not always what people want to hear, but at the end of the day, we are just human beings. So I don't even know if that helped, but I ended up laughing within that situation because that is the best medicine within these practices as well, is that when you can't do anything, just laugh. But I hope it helps. If not, take it with a pinch of salt.